Okay. So every time OBS restarts now, it trashes my settings. Yay! Good morning. Let's try that again. That's what the day is going to be today, folks. What happened to my lighting? Oh, cool. My lighting stopped working. Yes! What a day. Oh, no. Okay. No. Won't go up and down. Sorry, folks. Nothing in my office is working today, including me. Now I'm in darkness. This is going to be a fun stream. Has everyone brought their popcorn? Has everyone got their snacks? Sorry, folks. 1 second. I mean, I'm happy to sit in the dark. Well, I'm not really. I need to unplug my lights and plug them back in again. 1 moment, please. I have to crawl under my desk. Hands up, who's having one of those days? One of those weeks. Elevator music. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know how long it's going to take for my lights to reboot. These are LifeX lights. Okay, it's okay. Just have a chat amongst yourselves. Peter, hello. Oh, there we go. Lights are back on. Mark, stop doing that. Thank you. Zero himself. You're not going to want to hear this conversation. You might want to leave. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start off by saying hi to everyone in the chat, okay? Because I didn't get to do that last week, so I'm going to do it this week. And it seems that lots of people have already gone off the list. Anyway, so JTax, good morning. Adam, hello. Hello, Simon. I feel the stories about 0402 feeders compatibility with the Charmhigh. Oh, I wish that was all that was about. I wish that was all. Arturo, what have you done? Don't. Thank you. Sorry, Kira. Andy, hello, good morning. Hey, Hojad. Hey, G-Bound. Mr. Callaway. Michael, hello. Hello, Henrik. Michael, good morning. Hello, Adam Bryant. Arturo. You're here early. Hello. Scrolling. I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch of people that were before that. Hi, Paul. Hello, Mr. Dave Darko. Hi, Embedded Hobbyist. Hello, Ian Scott Johnson. Good morning. Good morning, Johnny. Hi, Andy Mouse. Hello, Mark. Thank you again for the super chat, and thank you, Arturo, for the super chat. Crazy Roops. Hello. I hope I haven't missed anyone. I'm scrolling too fast. My eyes are blurry. And there's a reason for that. Hello, Joe Anon. Hello, David Hertz. Christopher White. Hello. Connie Dem. Yes, no sound, I know. Sorry about that. Yumbo Prime, good morning. Enercotech. Hope I got that right. Hello. Hey, Nickel. Good morning, James. Hi, Intermittent Tech. Good morning, Christian. Hey, Bleep Track. Hello. Hello, Reed. Echo. Yes, Echo. Hey, Pablo. shine some light on that beautiful face. No, dude. Not even close. Not even close. Good morning, Colin. Hello, Tony. Hey, Professor Sparkles is here. Hey, Timon. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Good morning, Bruce. Hello, Zulu. Hey, Alex. It's Tiny LED Matrix. Ah, John Raymond. Yeah. Last week I got the sound right because I remembered to check. This week I forgot to check. Hello, Rando. Hi, Alison. And Peter, hello. Good morning. Hey, Ray. Hey, Rota. Alan K, hello. Oh. Don't you have somewhere to be soon? I think you do. You're going to love this story, Alan. Hey, Andy. Marius. Wow. So many people in the chat. Hey, Alaro. If I've missed anyone again, I'm sorry. Hopefully, am I getting to the end? Good morning, James. Ah, did you cool things? Silent, then dark and grainy video. Yeah. Hello, Bruce. Okay. I gotta be close to the end of the list now, don't I? Hi, Paul. Good morning. Hello, Rick. Hi, Pierre. You're way more prepared than I am for your streams these days, Peter. And I don't catch enough of them, unfortunately. Hello, Bart. Hey, Riverick. It's definitely one of those weeks. Yes, it is definitely one of those weeks. I got a ring light from Banggood. Cool. Hope it turns up one day. Hey, Antonin. Oh, it jumped. I've lost track of where I was. Okay, I lost track of where I was. And Marius, super chat. Thank you. And Johnny, what's going on? Why is everyone super chatting me? I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. I lost track of where I was on the list. Sorry, it jumped. Kepo Steve, hello. Collie Dean, hello. Stephen Mott, I'm scrolling back up now. I feel like an idiot. Jet Gyrotech, good morning. Aaron Knox, hello. Did I say hi to Elvaro? I think I might have. Okay, Soggy Buns, I didn't say hello to. Hello. Bonome, hello. I think that's where I was up to. Cable Tie. I can finally pronounce it. Yay! Kelsey, hello. Sorry, I've really lost track. I think it's every time someone super chats, it jumps. I don't know. Rat Madness, hello. Kepo Steve, did I say Kepo Steve already? Good morning, Lawrence. Okay, yeah, I've lost all track now. Waiting for 45 penalised PCBs. Yes! Love penalised PCBs. Good morning, Mindflayer Retro. Ooh, haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are well. Hi, Morton. Hello, Chris. Hemmings. Okay, I've lost track of who I said hi to and who I haven't said hi to. David Dessa, hello. This list is not going down. It's still going. Hey, Leo. Oh, this is nuts. Someone... Good morning, Nick. Hey, Simon. Ah, Mr. Watts. Hello. Kiddo. You're calling me Kiddo. I think it's the other way around, Kiddo. Okay, no, not near the end. X Micron, good morning. I'm not going to get to drink my coffee at this rate. Dave Darko, also super chatted. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Max Joker. I think my eyes are watering. Maybe I'm tearing up. Hello, Anchor. Give the crux quick, please. Give the crux quick. I'm not sure what that means. Hello, Mr. Agony. Oh, good name. Okay, I got to the bottom. I got to the bottom. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that super chatted. That's super generous of you. Wow. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Whoa. Okay. Oh, Emma. Hello, Emma. Been quietly following the saga. Oh, the saga. Well. Well. Holy shitballs. Holy shitballs. So, where do I start? Well, I gotta, okay. I had a plan. I can't remember my plan. I'm running on 2.5 hours sleep. Just letting you all know, I am absolutely exhausted. I actually only set up my stream last night after midnight because I wasn't even sure I was going to do it. Did you see my question in the board design channel on Discord? I did not. I'll have to go and have a look at it later. I'll have a look at it later, Rando. If I miss anyone's questions, because obviously I just went past a lot of stuff, yeah, ask me again, please, if I've missed a question or anything. So, I need to preface this with some stuff. Firstly, if I repeat myself today, this is going to be really ad-lib. If I repeat myself today, and I'm going to many times, I apologize in advance. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. The main reason I'm going to repeat myself is I've spent the last 5 days in a circular conversation with Charmhigh, going around in circles, and I'm going to tell you some of the circle, and I'm going to repeat myself. And if it's frustrating for you all, then just, no matter how frustrating it gets for everyone, just consider how much more frustrating it is for me. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So, the second thing, and this is an important thing, Charmhigh know I'm doing this stream. Okay? They were even sent the link last night, invited them to join it. They know this is totally open and honest. They're fully aware of this. I don't think they're watching now because China's a couple of hours behind Melbourne, so they're going to be fast asleep. It'll be like 4 in the morning. Something. 3:40, no. 4:40 in the morning, whatever. Anyway. So they're aware of this, and this was never done as a... Thanks, Peter. Wow. This was never done as a threat to them, okay? To be very clear, this was never done as a threat. I never once held this over their heads. I've got all of this in writing. I've got the whole conversation, everything that's taken place has been via email and Skype chat, not a video Skype, right? Skype chat. I've got the whole transcript. I've even screen grabbed and downloaded a lot of the chat just so it can't be modified by them after the fact. Okay? It's customs are stealing my money. Yeah, they have a habit of doing that. It's okay, Adam. Thank you to everyone who's super chatted. I really appreciate it. Please, no one feel like you have to do it. As fun as you all seem to be having with it. But thank you. I do really appreciate it. So this is all open. There's nothing I'm going to tell you that they don't know about. And I also want to say this. For those of you that followed my Neoden story, not once did I shame anyone, did I blame anyone, did I say anything bad about EM Logic or about Neoden. Hey John, my streams go for 2 hours, so I will get on with it. It's going to be a long story. So, prefacing that, I am going to shame Charmhigh. Absolutely going to shame Charmhigh. And I'm going to do it because with my case with Neoden, both Neoden and EM Logic always did the right thing. They were open, they were honest. They were always doing the right thing by me to try to rectify the situation. Can't say the same about Charmhigh. So, what's the deal? Well, I bought a Charmhigh 560 P4. You can't see it, it's so low. Moving camera. I bought a Charmhigh 560 P4. There it is. Takes up most of my floor. How low can I go? No, I'm not playing those games. This was not the first choice machine I wanted to buy. Not the first, it was the last on my list. But through circumstances and requirements, I had no choice but to, this was my only option that was left to me, right? I bought the machine with a whole bunch of feeders. It supports 60 feeders. I bought 38 8mm feeders. It was split between two types of 8mm feeders, right? There are, so with reels there's a pitch of parts, right? And the standard pitch, they're the sprockets on the tape. The standard pitch is 4mm. That's a 4mm pitch, right? 0603 parts here. Every sprocket is 4mm, and there's one part per sprocket, right? But 0402 has 2 parts per sprocket. So there's a special feeder that you get for that, and that feeder's an 8mm, 2mm pitch, right? So one sprocket is 4mm, 2 parts per sprocket is 2mm movement, right? No problem. I was speaking to Charmhigh at the start. I told them what my requirements were, told them what my mix of parts were, and I was told straight up, yep, you need to buy 2mm pitch feeders. They're blue handle feeders. I'll grab a feeder in a moment and I'll show you what they are and how they work. 2mm pitch feeders for 0402. You can't do 0402 in a 4mm pitch. Everything else goes into a 4mm pitch. No problem. So I bought all the appropriate feeders. Yep. You're a maker, create your own machine. No, I need a machine for production, not a machine for a project. That's a whole different conversation, different story for another time. So I ordered it. I got the machine on Friday. It arrived. Thank you, Alan. He came down on Friday. Both of us destroyed our hands getting it into my office. Got it in, got it on the ground, and I started working on it straight away. And I got my first board out in my first day. My first panel. And it should have been joy. It should have been awesomeness, right? But no, it wasn't. So from the first day, paging Stephen the robot, from the first day, the first 10 minutes of using the machine, there was a problem. And I messaged Charmhigh straight away about it. Okay? Now I need to explain what the problem is, and I need to grab a feeder to show you. And this is all important, by the way, folks. You might not think it is, but it's really important. So this is an 8mm feeder. It's a pneumatic feeder. Okay? So air gets pushed into this hole here. I'll get my head out of the way so you can see it. Into this rod, there's a little hole. And what the air does is it makes the feeder work by doing this. You might hear that, and you might see at the front, it's moving up and down. This little bit here. Okay, when the air comes in, it opens, a part gets picked from the end, and then as it closes, it feeds the tape along for the distance that it's supposed to. So this is a 4mm, so it'll move the part forward 4mm. Okay, hey Brian. So just to be clear, it opens it, no part moves. It picks the part. So this shield here covers the next part. It protects it, right? So when this opens, it reveals the part. The tape is not moving. It grabs the part, and as the closes, it pushes the next part forward. Hey, Death Shaker. So, what was the issue I sent them? I said to them that every time the air fires and this opens, the part jumps out. So they said, well, you need to be using the 2mm feeders for 0402. I said, no, these are not 0402 parts jumping out. These are other parts jumping out. Whenever it opens, the parts jump out. So this is on Friday. It was late in the afternoon. I got told, you fed it wrong. You've done something wrong. The usual stuff. My fault, my fault, my fault. Fine. So I spent all of Saturday and tried all sorts of stuff, and I'll go through all the stuff I tried, trying to rectify this. So I don't even know how to explain this because so much has happened. So at one point, okay, so sorry, I told you I should have been organised. The way the machine works is I've got a compressor outside in my office. I've got a big hose coming in, goes to the back of the machine. The intake at the back of the machine, there is a regulator, and the regulator is set to it ships 0.5 MPa, so that's about 5 bar. For those of you that speak in bar, right? Take a bit of coffee. Yeah, I need to take a bit of coffee. So the pressure is 0.5 megapascals, okay? And that's how much it meters out to a feeder when it needs to run. So it says, hey, I need to come and get a part. So as the head moves towards the part, the machine fires the pneumatic. It fires a solenoid for that particular feeder, and the air makes it happen, and it reveals and it holds the air, so it goes, keeps holding. It picks the part, and then it releases the air, and the part moves forward, right? Every time the head was coming to pick it up, the part wasn't there. Where was the part? It was on the ground, next to it. Or it was sitting next to it on the tape, out of the hole. Or it was upside down in the hole. Or it was on its side, right? Thank you for converting that to PSI. So here's the thing. There are 2 banks on the machine. There are 30 feeders at the front, 30 at the back. So 30 slots. The way the air works is there's one cable that gets split into 2, and then the whole bank gets the same amount of air. Okay? So I said to them, I said there's too much air. It's forcing this open too fast, and the part's jumping out. So how do I turn the air down on the feeder? They said, oh, you can't. I said, okay, how do I turn the air down for the feeder on the machine? You can't. Okay, I can't control the feeder. Right, how do I turn the air down for the bank? You can't. Right, I can't turn the air down. So I said, okay, so how do I control how much air goes to the feeder? The response was, the issue is not the feeder or the machine, the issue is the parts. What? The issue is the parts. So paper tape works fine, I get told, but plastic tape doesn't work. I said, what do you mean? Well, if it's plastic tape in the feeder, you can't use that. I said, what do you mean you can't use that? I said, parts come on plastic tape. Like, what are you talking about? Plastic tape's the problem. Right, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Right, so they were going to send me out a whole bunch of, ready for this? Valves. These something like this. So these are press fit valves with the ability to individually control each feeder. So I can turn the air down. But before that happened, they said the way you fix it for the plastic is you take this section here, there's a little tongue that holds the part down, and you need to bend it out. I said, you want me to break the feeder? I said, you want me to take these feeders that I've just paid for and you want me to damage them and bend the tongue out? They said, you need to bend the tongue out. Fine. So I went to all my plastic feeders and bent all the tongues out, so the little slot doesn't touch the tape, because they said that on the plastic tape the little tongue is touching the tape and making the part pop. Fine. I pulled all the tongues out. Guess what? All the parts still pop out. Same problem. Right? So that's when they suggested this would be a solution. So I went out yesterday and bought some of these. I bought the most expensive ones I could find. I didn't want, I mean, this sounds silly, I didn't want this bit here to be the reason why it doesn't work, right? I installed these, and guess what? It doesn't fix the problem. It makes it worse. Why does it make it worse? I'll tell you why. I'll show you a video why. Or I'll show you I'll scrub a video why, if I can find the video. So what happens is, if I turn the air down enough that the part doesn't jump, I have to turn it so far down that this open thing here takes too long to open, and the head hits the shield and it doesn't get the part. And you can't delay the head. You can't say go there and wait before you pick up. So this is what happens. Let me find it. This story's not even started getting good yet, folks. Okay, this is it. I'm going to switch screens. Sorry. Yeah, that's my Twitter. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see this. So, this is the machine running. Now, you need to look here. Can everyone see my mouse? I'll make it big. My mouse going big. You need to see this section here. Okay. Let me just scrub forward. Find it. Okay. You can see here. You see them open, right? So these are working. No, not working. These are ones that I haven't reduced the air from. Right? It opens and it picks its part. Yeah, and it closes. Yeah. Now watch this. Okay, this one here. See, it hasn't opened. Now can I scrub with the keyboard? I can. Okay. The head comes over. Actually, not that one. Hang on. Oh. Here we go. It comes over here. The head comes down and hits the shield. Look at that. Bang. Smack. Break the head. Break the nozzle. And then, watch this. The nozzle then opens. And the head opens and the nozzle comes down. So, if I turn the pressure down, the shield doesn't open in time. And not only do I damage the nozzle, but then when the shield does open, the nozzle falls in and smacks the parts. So you have these issues. This sounds insanely frustrating. Yeah, we won't even talk about livered yet. We won't even talk about the repercussions yet, right? So they said to me, you're not adjusting the air pressure right. So I spent an hour adjusting the air pressure, and I got it to the exact point, right, where the shield, whatever it's called, just opens in time. Okay? If I turn the air down anymore, the shield gets stuck, like you just saw. So it just opens in time. And the results are better, yeah. So instead of 90% of my parts jumping out of the tape or turning upside down, only 30% of my parts do it. So only 30% of my parts fail. It's called a shutter. Thank you, John. So what do they say to me? There you go. Much better. Much better. 30% of the parts that get put on my board are upside down or sideways. Whoa. Really? Is that good enough for you, Charmhigh? Really? So, what other things did I try? Well, have a look at this. Again, got to find it. So this is what I did. Look, I put weights on them. Why did I put weights on them? Because they bounce. Because they lock in from the front, but there's nothing holding them in on the back. So when the pneumatic fires, the feeders go, boop. Tell me the parts aren't going to jump when the feeder goes up like that every time it fires. I've got 15 kilograms of weights on here to hold the feeders still when the pneumatic fires so they don't jump. Tell me that's a good design. And I put foam down to make sure this is soft foam on the bottom and hard foam on top. And the reason I did soft foam on the bottom is because all the feeders sit at a different height. They're all like 1 or 2 millimeters out from each other. Right? So what actually makes the part jumps? What makes the part jumps is too much air pressure. The amount of air coming out of the thing is insane. I cannot hold my finger on the hole when I push air out. It forces my finger off the hole. Right? I have to bend my finger backwards to hold it still. That's how much air comes out. There's way too much air that comes out of these things. And these regulators don't fix it. They improve it. So I end up with a pick and place machine that only misplaces 30% of all my parts on my board. So let's have a look at what the pick and place does. This is at 30%. So this is with the weights and the air pressure on. Okay? With the weights and the air pressure. Let's have a look. So, the blue indicators, look at that part. That's how it sat in the feeder to be picked up. Parts sitting sideways in the feeder to be picked up. Diodes sitting on their side. Parts on their side. Parts upside down. Parts on their side, or sitting vertically. Parts on their side. So every single part I need to go fix. Right? So that's the 30%. So that's the best I can get out of this machine. The best I can get. Right? Without the valves, look at this. I know they're all different colours. I took them different cameras. Look at this. LEDs sideways. Schottky upside down. Can you see that? Schottky sideways. Schottky sideways. Schottky sideways. Right? LED upside down, back to front. LED back to front. I now, when I build a board, I can't crank the compressor down. So here's the thing. So, Charmhigh, you got it. I'm going to forget half the crap that they said to me, half of the bullshit that they said to me. Ready for this one? So, the issue is let me take a step back. This is the circular conversation I've had with them, right? I said, my machine's faulty. This is not right. This can't be right. Your machine's not faulty, right? It's absolutely not faulty. It's fully tested before it came. Okay, then there's a design problem. No, there's no design problem. All my customers are using it. Hey, Benjamin, please don't. Not on the channel. This is a family-friendly channel. Thank you. No, plenty of customers using it. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so then there's something wrong with my feeders. No, there's nothing wrong with the feeders. So there's something wrong with the air pressure coming in. Yes, there's something wrong with the air pressure. Okay, cool. So then there's something wrong. No, there's something wrong with your compressor. I'm saying, what do you mean? Your compressor supplies the air, they say to me. Yeah, and my compressor comes to your machine. Your machine regulates it. It doesn't matter how much pressure my compressor... I can turn my compressor off. Your machine... I'll get to that in a moment, John. John's asked, why doesn't the camera not reject the parts, right? I said, I can turn my compressor off. It doesn't matter. Your machine regulates the air. Your machine controls how much air comes in, not my compressor. It's not my compressor. Well, then it's the feeders. Okay, great, it's the feeders. So can you send me new feeders? No, there's nothing wrong with the feeders. But you said it was the feeders. Right. The feeders are not capable of doing plastic parts. Right, so there's a problem with the feeder. No, there's a problem with the plastic used by the manufacturer. I said, what? They said, go speak to your parts manufacturer and tell them to use different plastic. Did everyone just hear that? I'll let that sink in. Hey Shepherd, hey Bitlooney. I need to go to my parts manufacturer and get them to use different plastic because the plastic they're using is not good. I've got that in writing. So, let's move on from that one. I said, okay, so basically you're calling me a liar. Like I've sent them about 9 gigabytes of videos. I sent them videos Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, and all day Tuesday. I'll show you. Look, hang on. I've not even finished showing you. Like, hang on. So this is not the best video. It's a lot of these were taken on my phone. So look at this. This is what happens. So what I can do on the machine is when I go to the coordinate set, it doesn't move. Oh, then they said it's a problem with how fast the head is moving to the pick and place machine. You need to slow it down to 50%. And I said, wait. Firstly, it's not that, and I'll explain why in a second. But you want me to run the machine at 50% speed to make it capable of picking up parts from the feeders. She said, yeah, it'll be better. If you run at 50%, it'll be better. I said, I have to use my machine that I bought at half of its speed to make it pick stuff up, right? Yes, these are clone feeders, John. They are clone feeders, absolutely. I knew that going in. It's not the feeder, though. So I said, it's not that because the head is not moving. So in this, what I'm going to show you now, can I rotate this? I'm sure I can rotate this. Let me see how I can rotate it. No, I can't rotate it. Okay. It's not going to let me rotate. So, and what I'm going to show you now, the head is not moving. The head is over the feeder. It stays there, right? And it's not the feeder. Let me explain, Biloni. It's the air regulation. Hang on. So, every time I press this coordinate button, that's how I set the pickup position. Every time I push that, it opens that, whatever John called it, the shield, the shutter. It opens the shutter. And every time I click back, it closes the shutter. You ready? That's it. The head is not moving. The camera stays in the same place. So, I press it, I open the shutter, and the part jumps out. Right? Look at the part. This is with air regulation. This is the 30% better. You ready? Sorry that it's a moving camera. I had to hold it still with one hand. I press back and it closes the shutter. I press it again. I know it's moving, I'm sorry. Next part jumps out. Okay, sorry, no. That one, look, that worked, yeah? Look at the part behind it. It's already bounced. Okay, so this particular part comes every second position, not every position. It's a 2mm spacing, but it's 4mm pitch, right? So there's a Schottky gap, Schottky gap, Schottky gap. Why are they using? They use compressed air to open the solenoid. That's standard for pneumatic feeders. Cut some thin strips of paper around 30 centimeters or so and stick them using Pritt stick or something to the underside of the tape. Well, hang on. So we'll get to paper tape in a second. I push this again. Right, the next one. Wait for it. Upside down. You see that? You can see the movement forward. It jumps forward. The part's upside down. Easy solution, double the part pitch. What? I don't know what that means. I can't adjust the pitch. These are fixed pitch. The pitch is set on the feeder and these are fixed feeders at 4mm pitch, right? So the person I've been speaking to at Charmhigh speaks perfect English, no problem. This is not a translation issue. Perfect English, right? So hang on. So this is the improved version. So I get told, oh, sorry, bit late. Okay, sorry. So John asked me, why doesn't the thing reject it? Well, how can it reject this? That's a perfectly valid thing. It picks that up. That looks exactly the same as it does. Let me go back. On the other side, look at that. That's right way up, and that's upside down. To the camera, that looks exactly the same. How does it reject that? It can't. It does its size comparison, and it's identical. Right? So, the other thing to consider is if I use part rejection, I'm going to throw 30% of my reels on the floor, which I already have. I've wasted thousands of parts getting this far, right? I bet actual regulators would help a little. Valve, reduce volume, not pressure. Possibly, but what am I going to do? I've got 60 of them to do. Am I going to go out and spend $3,000? We haven't even got to the good part yet, guys. Sorry, I'm sorry this feels like it's taking forever. So this whole argument has been about paper tape, about plastic tape not working, right? Well, look at this. My paper tape doesn't work either. These are my 0402 resistors. Look at that. Watch this. So let's move it over a bit. Now, I'm sorry about the moving thing. Okay, I click back. Maybe. Here we go. Click back. I click coordinate set. Look at that. Look at that. All those parts that are sideways on my board, they said to me, oh, it's your pickup position is wrong. You haven't set your pickup position right. Yeah, I've set my pickup position perfect. Look at that. You see the crosshair? I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see. See the crosshair? That's set up perfect. The part jumped on its side. Paper tape, 0402. Right? So, their website states this machine can do 0402. I'm going to mention that the part C on board is a valve. Okay, I'll go out today and I'll buy some regulators, not some flow rate ones. Okay, I'll go out today and I'll buy some different ones. No problem. I'm happy to try that. But here's the thing. So their website states this machine can do 0402 and above, right? They say it can do 5,000 parts an hour. It's not about the speed. I've got my machine running at 1,200 parts per hour right now. Okay, that's half the speed of my Charmhigh 36 VA was. Half the speed, right? They have a recommendation. It's not the compressor. The compressor's irrelevant. So as long as the compressor can replenish the regulator, there's a regulator on the back of the machine. It's all done on the machine, bit loony. At the back, hang on. I'll show you. Just one sec. I've got so much to share. It's not funny. How much did that hunk of junk cost you? $17,000 this machine cost me. $17,000. Okay, I'll show you what the regulator looks like. It needs a 6 bar or above compressor. That's it. It needs 6 bar and above to be able to replenish the compressor, to be able to replenish the machine fast enough. That's the only requirement for a compressor. It doesn't matter how fast or slow I make the compressor move. It's irrelevant. It's regulated at the machine. At the back of the machine is this. The air comes in and this is where it's regulated. And I'm currently setting it at 0.5. Does the solenoid working against the spring? I don't know. It's all in. I can't get access to it. Thanks, Peter. So their website says this can all work. This all works. I bought a machine and it doesn't work. It doesn't do it. But here's the thing. They're focused on 0402 parts. So I'll give you a list of all the parts that don't work. I'm just going back to me for a second. This is a list of all the parts that don't work. You ready? 0402 doesn't work. 0603 doesn't work. It's better. I only lose 1 out of 8 0603s. SOT 363 doesn't work. DFN doesn't work. None of my LEDs work. SOT 23. SOT 23 does not work. SOT 23 jumps out of the tape. This is not an 0402 issue. This is not a reliable precision of a feeder issue. So, you ready for this one? They have a solution for my SOT 23. You ready? The issue with the SOT 23 is it's too light. So the solution is, this is what I got last night at midnight from the engineer. You ready? Take all of my SOT 23s out of my reel and put them on an IC tray. And pick them up off an IC tray. I'm just letting that one stay with you for a while. I have to open up all of my parts, take them out of the reels, and put them on an IC tray. So they claim no customers have had this issue before. It got to the point yesterday when I was being the most problematic, unreasonable customer ever because I wanted the machine to do what they said it could do, right? You haven't got the best bit yet. Oh, there's so many best bits. There's so much stuff I haven't said yet. But there's a solution. They have a solution for me. They have a solution. And it actually is a solution. Maybe. You ready for it? Everyone sitting down? I have to replace all of my feeders, all of my 8mm feeders, with electric feeders for $10,000 more. Because pneumatic feeders can't do what I want it to do, and my expectations are too high. I have it in writing that my expectations are too high, that the machine that I bought from them, that I discussed my requirements with, that, mind you, they know exactly what I build on this machine because they've used my videos of my Charmhigh 36 VA Tiny Pico assembly on their sales and marketing pages for their Charmhigh products, showing what their Charmhigh products are capable of without even asking me my permission. They've got my videos on their website. But my expectation that when their website and their salesperson says, this is what you need to do what you want to build, and I pay $17,000 for it, when it doesn't work, that my expectations are too high. And I've got it in writing from them, silly them, from their engineer saying this is a known problem with pneumatic feeders. This is a known problem with pneumatic feeders. So they knew this was a known problem with pneumatic feeders, and they sold it to me anyway. Oh, I would love an SM Tech machine. Don't even get me started. Richard, possibly. But they refuse to admit that the machine is faulty. And they refuse to admit that it's a design flaw, which it clearly frickin' is. And they refuse to admit any culpability. And they will not, they'll give me two free electric feeders, and I have to replace the rest. But they will not replace them until I pay to send back these feeders to them first. I don't know anyone running this machine. They've sold stacks of them, apparently, and no customer's ever had a problem. Yet I've got it in writing from their engineer that this is a known issue with pneumatic feeders. So, guess what? I said to them, why did you not tell me about this at the start? Nothing. Why did you not offer me electric feeders at the start? Oh, we didn't offer you electric feeders at the start because we were trying to save you money. I said, what? I said, when did I ever ask you to save me money? When did I ever argue about the price? When did I tell you it was too much? When did I ask you to make it cheaper ever? I asked you again and again. I said, are these clone feeders? You said yes. I said, are these good enough quality to do what I need to do? You said yes. I've got it in writing. I said, when did you offer me electric feeders? They were trying to save me money by not offering me electric feeders. Enerotech has the same problem with a similar machine. Sure, I'm not saying that this is unique to this my machine. This might be a problem with pneumatic feeders on this type of machine. Sure. Don't sell it to me. Don't tell me. Don't take my money and tell me that it'll do what you say it's going to do, and then afterwards tell me no, it can't, and this is a known problem. It's a blatant lie. And guess what else? Is there a mention of an electric feeder on their website? No, there isn't. Is there a mention of issues with plastic tape on their website? No, there's not. Is there a mention of any pneumatic issues with anything to do with their feeders and machine on their website? No, there's not. Guess what is on their website? That this machine can do 0201 and above. That this machine reliably places 0402 and above. Is all over their website. I said, give me my money back. No, we don't do refunds, we don't do returns. There's nothing wrong with the machine. I said, so you're calling me a liar? I said, so you're telling me that I used all my special effects skills to fabricate all of my videos and fabricate all of my screenshots. I doctored them all. It's all special effects. It's not real. I'm a liar. I said, why would I spend 5 days wasting my time videoing and documenting and working with you trying to, I haven't even told you what other damage they made me do to the feeders, to hack the feeders to get them to work on your machine when you know I'm desperately needing to be in production building boards. Why would I waste 5 days of my frickin' time faking evidence to you? For what purpose? Why am I wanting to cheat you? That's what I want. I'm definitely, yep, I'm lying to you and I'm cheating you. I'm trying to cheat Charmhigh out of what? I'm a liar. It's not real. But I've got it in writing from them multiple times. I tell you what, I want my S1 back. The S1's been fixed. The S1 is in Sydney and it's been fixed. There was a problem with it, absolutely, like I said, and they fixed it. They replaced parts and they fixed it. And god damn it, I want to buy it again. I want to take this piece of shit and I want to leave it out in the nature. You know what I want to do? I want to take a mallet to it. I want to lose my 17 grand, I don't care. I want to take a mallet to it and I want to smack the living shit out of it and stick it on the nature strip. So, Charmhigh blatantly lied to me. Not once. I've asked them now 100 times to own up and take responsibility for what they've done. Put their hand up and admit that they sold me a machine telling me it has capabilities that it cannot do. It's all over their freaking website. I'm sure it's not fixable with a mallet, you know, and if this would have been the start of my pick and place journey, then maybe I'd be less frustrated. Okay? I have never shamed anyone before. I don't believe in shaming people. I don't believe you get results by shaming people. I don't believe that embarrassing people is the right way to do anything. Thanks, Aaron. I honestly don't. I honestly do not. But frack me. So, let's talk about what else they got me to do. They got me to pull these springs off and cut them. Because it was the spring. This is what's causing the problem. So I pulled them off. I said, are you sure? I said, you want me to damage these feeders? You want me to cut these springs shorter and damage these feeders? Yes, we tried it. We tried it in the factory and it works. Great. Took the feeder, cut it, put it back on. Guess what? Doesn't do anything. Same problem. Damaged feeder. Yay. Do I get that feeder replaced? No. Do I get my money back for the feeder? No. I've gone out of my way to do all of the ridiculous things that they asked me to do, that they solely did to cover their own asses because they completely misrepresent their machine. They sell a machine that cannot do what it's sold to do, and I've got it in writing from them. In writing that it cannot do, that is a known issue. There's no backing out of that one. Thank you, Bruce. I've got it in writing from them. And they still won't do anything. Oh, they'll give me a refund. Ready for this one? If I pay the $6,000 to return the machine. I have to pay $6,000 to return the machine to them. And when they get it, then they'll pay me a refund. You know what that is? You know what I offered them? I said to them, no, give me a refund. I said, I've got all the packaging still. Give me a refund. I'll pack it up. I'll put it in my garage. I'll store it for them. Sell it to someone else in Australia, and you can ship it from here. And the person doesn't have to pay shipping. That's reasonable. Holy shit, I'll store it for them in my garage. Nope. Nope. You know what? Pack it up, store it in the garage. When they sell it, they'll give me a refund. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, I got another one. So, when they found out I was going to do the live stream, so before the live stream, before I decided to do this, they threw their hands up and said, I'm too difficult. That none of the solutions they gave me is good enough for me. I'm unreasonable, right? That $17,000 for a pick and place machine that fails on 30% of the parts and that wasn't acceptable for me. That was unreasonable of me, right? And they threw their hands up and said, nah, it's you. You're the most unreasonable person we've ever dealt with, they said to me. Yeah? Up until that point, I wasn't screaming at them. I was arguing. I wasn't screaming. All I ever said was, this machine doesn't do what you sold it to me to do, and you need to rectify it. And when they decided I was too difficult, I decided I was going to publicly speak about this. The whole time I didn't. I never once threatened them. I never once said to them, if you don't do blah blah blah, I'm going to go to my community and tell them all about it. Nothing. Didn't do anything. Right? As soon as I sent her the thumbnail and said, this is my stream tomorrow. I'm done. Then it doesn't matter, wanted to talk again. So you ready for this one? The final offer they gave me. The final offer. I have to buy 6 electric feeders. They will give me an additional 9 electric feeders. Right? So that's 15 feeders. Just for my tiny Pico, I have 19 feeders on here. And every single one of them, 19 8mm feeders. And every single one of them, parts jump out. Both paper tape and plastic. So they're going to give me 15 feeders. I have to pay for 6. By the way, the feeders are $300 each, Australian, plus shipping. Right? No guarantee it'll work. And this machine does not support electric feeders. So how do the electric feeders work? So they take an electric feeder and they jerry-rig the switch to be fired by the pneumatic. So the pneumatic fires, and of course, does the feeder bounce? Who knows? And when the pneumatic fires, it jerry-rigs this switch that's hanging off on wires, just hanging, yeah? And makes the thing go. But here's the kicker. You ready? They won't send me those free feeders until I send the CL back. So I still can't build. And I still have to pay to return them. But they have a solution for me. Ready for this? They have a solution. How about when people in Australia buy feeders, I can help them by shipping them from here. So if someone in Australia buys 5 8mm feeders, then the person in Australia pays Charmhigh for them, and I, for Charmhigh, ship them to them from here. And when they ship, then Charmhigh will send me the free electric feeder in replacement. So I have to sit here waiting for them to sell feeders that then I have to ship for them to get my replacement feeder that may or may not fix this machine. I'm trying to work out through any of this what Charmhigh have offered me that in any way is reasonable. I'm not selling this piece of shit to anyone. So, am I using it? Yes. I've built panels with it. See this? That's 2 days of work. 6 panels. 6 panels. 2 days of work. 2 full freaking days of work. The machine is currently running at 60% speed. And 5 of the parts, 5 of the feeders are set to 50%. So that's 50% of 60% speed. So they're running at 30% speed. And it still mispicks up 30% of them. And I was hand fixing these panels till 12:30 last night. I started at 7 o'clock in the morning, 12:30 at night, sitting here, flipping parts over and turning them around, checking every part. Oh, and guess what? Here's the best one. It's a 4-head machine. And guess what I'm doing? I'm building in 2 halves again. I'm building in 2 halves, 2 parts. Why? Because none of the parts can be trusted, and I can't put the antennas down without seeing the RF matching network first, because if I put the antenna down and there are parts sticking up, where's that picture? Not that one, the other one. See that here? See this? That's the RF network. That the RF's going to fail. So I can't put the antennas down. So I'm still building it in 2 parts. I'm building the board, I'm taking it off, I'm fixing every freaking part on the board, checking every single component. It has to happen under a microscope because I can't see if the LEDs are the wrong way around, because half the LEDs are the wrong way around, right? And then I've got to put the boards back in and put the antennas on. Catch you, Alan. It wasn't paid by credit card, it was direct deposit. There's no dispute. There's nothing I can do. So, this is a public... I'm going to make a video about this as well, because let's face it, most people don't watch my streams afterwards, or they skim through, whatever. I'm going to make a video about this. I'm going to be quite public about this, right? This is buyer beware. Do not buy. I'll only say this machine. I'm not going to say any other machine. Can't vouch for any other machine. Do not buy this machine from Charmhigh. It does not do what they claim it can do, and I have it in writing from them, from their engineers. I gave them 5 days to find me a resolution. But more importantly, I gave them 5 days to put their hand up and say, yes, we take responsibility for this. Not once. They refuse to take responsibility for this. Wrong. Charmhigh customer service, enough to state, don't buy any Charmhigh products. Look, their customer service hasn't been bad. It hasn't done anything. It hasn't, I mean, they won't solve it. The final thing I get from them is, why are you refusing to do the electric feeders? And I said straight up, I'm not paying $10,000 to fix your mistake with your bad design machine. Why would I reward you $10,000 in electric feeders to fix your mistake? The S1 was damaged during delivery or whatever it was. There was a problem with, there was a couple of problems with the S1, right? It wasn't a design problem with the S1, and Neoden and EM Logic worked with me to try to rectify it. The issue with the S1 is it had to go back to EM Logic to get fixed properly. I was not equipped to fix the S1, okay? And I also said to Ramsey at EM Logic, I said this obviously directly to him, I did not want to be responsible for pulling the S1 apart to fix it and break it. They have staff that are trained to fix it. They're the distributor. If something happened with the S1, then that's them dealing with Neoden. As the customer, I did not want to do the level of maintenance I needed to do on it to fix it. Right? That was the issue with the S1. The S1, like, it's fixed now. Do I want to... I don't know. I'm still speaking with Ramsey. Anton, thank you. Thanks heaps, mate. Thank you so much. I'm still, like, Ramsey and I, we're talking. Like, there's no bad blood between Ramsey and I. They went above and beyond. And so did Neoden. The fact was, it was the only machine available to me. They still don't have machines on the production line, right? They still can't give me a new machine. And that was the only machine, and it turned up here and it didn't work, right? The S1 is back at EM Logic. It's back as their demo machine again, and it's fixed. They didn't replace the vacuum pump, so it's still noisy. They could replace it. They decided, because it worked anyway, they were just going to leave it. Could I loan it or rent it? I don't know. I don't know. But for those that aren't aware, the reason I sold my original Charmhigh and wanted a new machine was there was too much manual work I had to do after building a board on the Charmhigh every time. Like, it wasn't reliable enough that I could take the board and stick it in the reflow oven, right? I had to go and check all the parts on the board and nudge and fix parts, because it was quicker to do that than it was to rework a board after it had been reflowed, right? It was much better to do it before it went into the reflow. But building this quantity of boards, it was mentally doing my head in, sitting there doing that. That is the specific reason I decided to spend a chunk of money that really I can't afford to buy a better pick and place machine that meant I did not have to do that. That was why I invested in a new pick and place machine. To remove a large chunk of manual labour, but to alleviate a massive amount of mental fatigue, right? Hey Nick, thanks very much for joining, mate. Appreciate it. And where I'm left with now is a machine that is at least 3 times worse, than the machine I had, the Charmhigh I had. and I paid $17,000 for the privilege. It's still, yeah, because the issue is not the speed of the machine. The speed of the machine affects how accurate it can place parts, right? How accurately you can nail it. And as you can see from this picture here, that was taken last night from the, I think the third panel I built. As you can see, at 60% speed, it's fairly accurate. Well, I wouldn't call this here accurate. That's pretty bad. So what's going on here, right? Can anyone see that this, hang on, can I zoom this? Oh, look at that. So what's happening here? Well, that part got picked up on its side and then it just dropped it. I have dropped parts all over the board. When I take a board off this machine, I have sprinkles of parts all over the place that it has picked up and dropped because it's picked them up on its side or whatever, right? Always do your research. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by always do your research. Like, what research could I have done? I mean, I reached out to people on the Charmhigh mailing list, asked people who had a 560. I couldn't find anyone that had a 560, right? There were people I spoke to that had the model above, like the $30,000 machine above this thing, and obviously people with 48 VBs and 36 VAs, and I thought I knew what I was getting into with regards to its reliability, right? But how would I ever found out about the pneumatics? I do have problems with smeared paste. Absolutely. When I have to pick this part up and flip it over, right? And we'll go back. Move. How do I move it again? I can't move sideways. Right, when I have to pick this Schottky up and flip it over, it smears the paste. Absolutely. Then I have to rework it afterwards. But I can't leave it like this. We should all campaign in Logic to donate the S1. So EM, before I bought the Charmhigh, EM Logic offered to, before they'd fixed the S1, they offered to loan me a Neoden 4 and the feeders to get my production done. Okay? The problem is the Neoden 4 would have been a nightmare to set up and run. The feeder system on the Neoden 4 is not good enough, and that's why I never looked at the N4 as a purchase, right? They offered me that. EM Logic have been great, no doubt. But this is just, yeah. I mean, to pick up this LED and spin it, and pick up this LED and spin it and flip it, like, look at this standing resistors. You know how many standing resistors? You know how hard it is to accurately place a standing resistor at 0402 and have it not fall over? That's how good this machine is. What else have I got? I'm going to see what other things I can show you. Oh, I've got so much stuff. Which one's this one? Oh, this is me showing them how I bent their tongue up. This is me showing all, look at that, look at all the parts. That's how they all came out of the feeder. Woo, upside down, back to front. Upside down, the right way around. On its side, upside down, back to front. Except for this one here, which is on its side, which it does discard. These are all legitimate pickups because they measure the same when the system picks it up. It can't tell the difference. See that? That's what that software does. The software picks up the part and it measures its size compared to what I set it to. And it goes, yep, no problem. That part's upside down. Read back through the comments. Someone is using this machine and has a fix using... I've heard about the rubber band fix. I'm not sure that will work on mine. Who was it that had the rubber? If you guys, if you're still watching, sorry, there's so much chatting here, it's not funny. If you're still here with the rubber band fix, can you post it again? But the rubber band fix won't work. I'll show you why. I already looked at that. I've been scouring the internet. There's really not a lot of information out there. Okay, had the rubber band come. Okay, thank you. I will. So the issue is, I'll show you. I tried looking at the rubber band thing, but actually, let me see if I can do it under my other camera. 1 second. If it turns on, it'll be easier to see. 1 second. If it's gone, okay, you're in touch with it. Awesome. Cam link. So 1 second, I'm just switching camera. Okay. So the problem with the rubber band, well, I need to turn that down. Its shutter speed's wrong. Okay, the problem with the rubber band is to hold this section back, so it always stays open, right? But I don't know about the feeders he's got, but the only way I can do that is to break off this, and this is metal. How close can I get? So you see in here, I either have to cut this off completely. We're in focus? I hope we're in focus. Because as this moves, you see this? That black thing there is metal. Why is it? It's now gone dark. Turn the brightness up more. That's a metal plate. It's not plastic. Can you see what I'm pointing at? This bit here. So I either have to cut that, or I have to cut this off, right? To be able to put elastic band to open this up. So, sure, at this point in time, wrecking these, maybe I just wreck them. Come on, focus. Doesn't like the shiny. Are you really not going to focus? Okay, manual focus time. Okay, like, sure, I can start wrecking feeders. Take off the return spring. This spring, I can't, if I take off this return spring, it doesn't work. Is that what you're talking about? Corinne, so what have I missed? Is there some way the community can help you? Super chat, help a little bit. The S1, you know what? If I turn around to Ramsey today and said, Ramsey, like it's another $27,000. I need to go and spend $27,000. It's going to cost me $27,000 to get the S1 back, plus shipping. Assuming he's still got the feeders, right? Because if he doesn't have the feeders anymore, then I can't use it. What was it saying? Someone was saying the return spring, aside from the feeder issues, are there any other operational issues with the machine? Yeah, there are other operational issues with the machine. So it cannot reliably pick the same feeder pickup position every time. Now, I don't know whether that's a pickup head issue or a pneumatic issue where it's not making the feeder fully go. I can't tell because I don't have one perfectly working 8mm feeder. Hey, Zero himself. So, have you got Intercotex contact details off YouTube? I hope you do. So I can actually. Oh, you're there. The fix of the rubber band does not need any modification to the feeder. How did you do that then, please? Do you have a photo or something? The nozzles are bent, could be run out. Well, the nozzles are currently not bent, because as soon as I saw that issue with the nozzle going down, hitting the shutter, I stopped doing that. Yes, he's back. Thank you for coming back. Do you have a picture or something? Oh, you sent me your email. Thank you so much. If I can get this machine working, I'm happy to get this machine working. Guys, I don't want you to fund my S1 purchase. Honestly. Thank you though, but that's not necessary. If I can get this machine working, I'll gladly get it working. I need to produce, so I now need to produce over 2,500 tiny picos. No, it's getting close to 3. I have no stock for myself. I have people waiting. I have orders waiting. This is separate to crowd supply. Thanks, Colin. I feel like I'm just the guy that complains all the time. I really feel like that's what I am. I feel like I'm the guy that has dug himself a hole with his pick and place crap. You know what I mean? This is just, it's just insane. What's insane about this? Like, there was no possible way I could have known this, and they still won't admit any culpability. I'm sure you have a lot of people battling for you. This community is awesome. Absolutely freaking awesome, no doubt. I feel like I feel like I'm cursed. I honestly feel like I'm cursed. Can you make a mod? What? Can you make... Oh, can I make a mod? Sorry, yes. Sorry, hang on. Wow, Guys, I'm so tired, it's not funny. Nothing wrong with you complaining. I know. And you know what? I have fought this whole calling them out thing. Like, I really didn't want to do it. It is not my style. But damn me, seriously, this is just I told it to them. I said the bullshit you guys are spinning me right now is just insane. Aaron's messages are being blocked. I don't know why. I just made you a moderator as well. Moderator, everyone! On a positive note, it's very close to working, just needs the feeders tweaked. Well, yeah, but it's like all of my feeders. I've got 36 feeders. Like, I'm just trying to build tiny picos. I bought a 60 feeder machine. That was one of my requirements. I want to load up my Pro S2 and my Feather S2 on this machine at the same time. I've got 20 more, 14, 12. I've got 13 more 8mm feeders to go on here, right? And 10 of those 13 are plastic tape. Like, what am I going to do? This will be a great anecdote in a year or two. Going hard with Charmhigh, like I've gone nowhere. Like, it's been this circular discussion, back and forwards. You know, why can't I open? Oh, it is open. Hang on, there was some other stuff I need to find it. Now Aaron's message was retracted. Was that you? Oh, hang on, as it stands right now. What do you feel your options are? My options right now are I have to build crap panels with this machine, and I have to fix them, because I have to at least make my crowd supply order. They've been waiting long enough. It's been like excuse after excuse of me apologizing to them. They're fully aware of their pick and place journey. Oh, so this was a good one. This is the response I got when I said, I bought a machine. You sold me a machine that does not do what you claim it can do. And the response I got was, you really can't ask a low value machine to do a Samsung machine's function. Right? And I said, that is BS. My 36 VA could do it better than this machine. So you know what the response is? So get another 36 VA. I should buy another machine off them. Nothing about whether this $17,000 machine should work or not. It's unreasonable of me to expect this machine to do the same as a $250,000 Samsung. Really? I can place 0402 by hand. There are folks on here that can place 0201 by hand, but a $17,000 pick and place machine can't place a SOT 23. Again, get everyone to build tiny pick. I wouldn't put hand assembling tiny pickos on anyone. I gladly pay other people to manufacture stuff. There's a reason I don't mess with pick and place. I get that, and it's not for everyone. But what I'm asking, this is not rocket science. My tiny picos, honestly, they're piss easy to make. Okay, my $5,000 Charmhigh 36 VA could do them. Right? This is a complex thing, and it needs a proper manufacturing system to do it. It's not that. No, I don't want to build my own pick and place machine. Well, what did Peter say? Yeah, look, you know, in this case, even if I decided right now, forget it, my pick and place journey's over, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to start getting my boards manufactured somewhere else. Even if I did that, it doesn't solve me now. I can't get this stuff made in time for me now. I need to get these stuff done for crowd supply. All my parts are here, all my panels are here. I've just ran out of one batch. These were the last of a batch of 100 panels that I had here. I've now got a new batch of new design panels. The difference with these are I've increased pad size on some of the pads to make some of the hit and miss reflowing I was getting, like, you know, better. I've got stencil ready to go. I'm gonna, like, today I'm gonna set this up, and I've got 50 of these panels and another 50 on the way. I'm just gonna sit here and suffer through making boards because I have no choice, because I've got to get this order out. Right? That's my priority right now. That's my focus. What model number of the Charmhigh you got there? That is wrong. This is the T560. No, T540. Oh my god. P4. T560 P4. And they've also got a T530 P4, which is exactly the same, but it's only got 30 feeder banks instead of 60 feeder banks. They're exactly the same. Thank you. I couldn't remember the model number. And it is not what they advertise. It is not capable of doing what they advertise. And they know this is an issue, and they don't even supply the machine with individually adjustable valves. Right? I mean, if they would have done that, that would have been a great step in the right direction. Hey, we recognize that there is a problem with the one pressure for everyone, and so we've given you the ability to tweak it. We can't tweak it for you because we don't know what you're putting on there, but you have the ability to sit there and tweak it yourself, because we recognize that you will need to do that to make the feeders work. Nope. That's a design flaw. Can you explain why the feeders let your parts bounce around? Isn't there a shield on top of the feeder that should prevent this? It's when the shield opens. When the shutter opens, the part jumps. It's a combination of the shield scrapes the tape. Okay, so I bent the shield up so it doesn't do that anymore. The speed in which it pulls back is like a... It's like a gun. Like it is... Like the pressure, the sound of the pressure is so loud that my camera can't pick up the sound. All you hear is a crackle. Like the microphone in my camera cannot pick up the sound of the air valve going off that opens up the feeder. There's no bumper. There's no plastic. Oops, wrong camera. There's no plastic at the back. It's all metal. Is it because they're clone feeders? Well, maybe. I've got it in writing from them that there's nothing wrong with them. I've got it in writing that if I get any faulty feeders, they'll replace them. They say there's nothing wrong with the feeders. Right? I've replaced every part. Am I sure the pressure regulator is working? Yeah, the pressure regulator is working. So if I take that regulator I showed you before, if I turn it down even a little bit, the large feeders stop working. So on the back of the machine, there's 24 mil. Hang on, I've got a picture. Here, I'll show you what's on the back. So I showed you this one. Right, this is the front with the weights. On the back, look, there you go. So these are big feeders. So there's one 24mm feeder, two 16s, and two 12s on there. And if I turn the pressure down at all, even 0.02 of a megapascal, these back feeders stop firing because there's not enough pressure to make them go forward. Can they? Well, they can't send an engineer because everyone's on lockdown, and they won't send an engineer. They won't spend a cent on this. They won't admit that it's anything to do with them. They believe that this is acceptable. They believe that they say this is a known issue with pneumatic feeders and this is the correct behaviour. Catch you later, Peter. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry too. It does suck big time. Take care, mate. I'll speak to you later. I'll speak to you offline. Needs to be able to regulate different pressures to the different types of feeders. So yeah, I'll show you. I do have a picture of how that is done because I took another video of the valves, which you can kind of see here. So underneath each, it's probably not great. Do I get lower? I do get lower. So underneath each feeder position, there is a solenoid. This is the black section here. That's one end of the solenoid. And the blue hose comes out from the solenoid into this position. And so I have put the flow control. Okay, maybe I can get pressure control ones, and I'll try that. Why have you reduced the overall pressure at the main reducer? That's what I said before. If I reduce the overall pressure, the back feeders stop firing. Or they don't fire enough. So here's the thing. Because every feeder is different, right? So as I said, this is an 8mm feeder, an 8mm 4 pitch. Black handle means 4 pitch. So what that means is every time this is pushed, so the air comes in, whenever this is pushed, this comes back, and then if you look here, the sprockets move forward exactly 4mm. You see that? This is locked to 4mm. Okay, I'll show you how. This is a blue handle one. This is 2mm pitch. Okay? This is locked to 2mm, it moves. Can't really see. Okay? These are fixed. But the big ones, this is a 16. Big 16mm feeder. Okay? The way the 16mm feeder works, for instance, is you set here whether it's what the pitch is. This is currently set to 16 for the pitch. That means it's going to move 4 sprockets of 4. So when the pressure happens and this gets pushed back, if I can hold it still, it gets revealed, and then look at this, the sprockets move 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? One movement does 4. If I reduce the pressure, then sometimes it fires 4, sometimes it only moves 3 because there's not enough pressure. And then the next time it goes to pick up, the part underneath the shield is in the wrong spot and it mispicks. So then it tries to do it again and there's not enough pressure and it only moves 3 or 2 and it mispicks, right? And then what happens is all the parts get stuck inside here because they don't come out and they get wedged at the end where the tape comes out. So that's what happens if I reduce the overall pressure, which I can't do. I'm going to put this down. Like, this machine is completely flawed design. It's completely flawed. There is nothing about the way this machine is designed that can cater for different types of feeders. Simple as that. Get in touch with Sky News. Yeah, no. I hate seeing that in my feed. Having large feeders on the end isn't ideal as they need the most flow and they're the furthest away. No, they're the closest. Where I've got them in the back, hang on. Okay. So this picture here, the actual input, that valve, the place where the air comes, is right here. It's just below here, on this side. I put the large feeders right next to where the air intake comes, right next to that regulator. What if you change the tension on the spring? Which spring? Someone said that before, but no one told me which spring. So I'm just going through the Australian small business robbed by large Chinese company. Yeah, I thought about that, John. I thought maybe position was going to be a thing. But, yeah, I deliberately put them there and left the other side for 8mm feeders. The spring, the mechanism back. Well, it's a piston that brings it back. I'm not sure what adjusting the spring. It's a piston. So this here is the piston. The air comes in here through a tube here into that. This pushes. So you see here when this goes down, see this here? That push, that's the thing. The return is not the issue, it's the push. The air comes in and this goes down so fast, like I can't explain how fast this snaps. Like the click is really loud, right? Bang, and the part's jumped out already. There's no spring, there's nothing to adjust. Can you actuate by mouth? No. No, it's actually really hard to push this. Really hard. Like this is a... Anyway. There's nothing here that can be adjusted. There's no tensioning that's restricting its movement. right? I mean, there's this spring here, but it's loose. Hang on, so you can't see that. There's this spring here, yeah, that's moving this, but it's loose. Like I don't want to bend it out, but you know, it's loose. There's no, it's not tight. Look, I can bend it right out. You know what I mean? That is not causing tension. It's all mechanical. There's no spring. It's this. Put a spring on that lever. But what's the spring on the lever going to do? Catch you later, Dave. Thanks for joining, mate. A spring on what lever? I don't understand. What's the front air? That's not air. That's the clamp. So this is how it clamps on, right? You see this here? That goes in a hole and that goes in a hole. These two go in a hole, and then this front clamps on. And what's the problem with that? Well, it does this. Ready? It goes boop, boop. You can pivot. So the air gets pushed here and it bounces. Whoop, whoop. Like it's yeah. Like there's not even anything to clamp it down on the other side, which is why I put the weights there. Can you nip the clear flow pipe to solenoid to restrict the flow? Yeah, I tried doing that. So I got everything from bobby pins, right, on there to, where's my other little clamp? I don't know where I put it. I might have chucked it in anger. I went and got some mini ones of these. Yeah. I mean, this is obviously the one I'm using for my TS100, but you know these, what I call it, whatever they're called again, clamps, and the little tiny ones. And I was clamping. Like I've honestly, I mean, including going out and spending a fortune on these things, which may not be the exactly right thing, fine. Like I've tried everything that's in here. Oh, wait. And another thing they suggested I do. I gotta find it. Probably not gonna be able to find it. Ready for this? Open up all of the blue. So all of these things. No, not that one. Hang on. Take all of these blue things out. Ready? And stuff something inside them all to reduce the airflow. Read what I wrote. If you put a spring on the lever you squeezed, it opens easier. And then you can turn the air down, which stops the jumping. Put a spring. Where am I going to put a spring? And I'll get back to that in a second. So they wanted me to take all these blue tubes out and stuff something inside them to reduce the airflow. That was a suggestion from one of their engineers. So you're talking about putting a spring where? Between this and what? It needs, that's how much clearance I've got. Where am I going to put a spring? A spring, firstly, I've got nowhere to attach a spring here. But even if I did, let's say I drilled a hole through here to put a spring, that's how much clearance I've got. So how much is a spring here? You're not realizing how much force this needs. There is no spring I could stick in here that compresses that small that's going to have any impact at all on this. Nothing. Look how much I'm pushing with my thumb. Look, my thumb, the tip of my thumb's just gone white. Is there any airflow adjustment on the actuator of the feeder? No, there's not. So both Alan and I were hoping there is a little hole just in here. It's a tiny little hole. And we were hoping that maybe there was a tiny little screw in there to adjust it. But firstly, to get this out, to get in there, requires pulling half of this feeder apart. Right? And so I wasn't prepared to do that at the time when we were looking, but Charmhigh confirmed with me that that is not a valve to adjust it. That there's nothing on here that can be changed to adjust the air pressure. I even clamped here, so that's what the bobby pin was for. So I had these bobby pins and I was doing this. I mean, I've bent this one out of shape now because I've just been playing with it. But I was doing this. Right? I was clamping it there because this is soft enough, and then I put those other metal clamps on the blue things, and it's still, because there's still too much pressure at that point. So the valves I've got on there right now that reduce it enough that it doesn't jump as much, they're almost fully closed. That's dull. What about on the solenoids on the machine itself? Because this is not the proper solution. Hey Alex, thank you very much for the super chat. And I mean, I appreciate everyone's suggestions, I really do. But they're kind of like Charmhigh suggestions, right? They're all try doing this and try doing that and try doing this. All these things might improve things a little bit, absolutely. But this pick and place machine is never going to do what it was supposed to do. It's never going to be reliable. If one part on the board has a chance of being upside down, I have to take the board out, stick it under the microscope, and check every single part. Every time. If there's any chance that one part could be bad. Like, at what point, do I just take the board and just reflow it and pull them apart and try to catch it at the testing stage? If it's an RF thing, if the RF is screwed, that won't come up. Wi-Fi works anyway, right? If it's a resistor upside down, well, I can almost live with that. I'd prefer not to, right? If it's a diode back to front, well, it depends which diode. If one of the diodes, the 5 volts won't work. The other diode is only a protection for backfeed. And I can't test for backfeed because the only way the board is powered is from the USB. Lloyd, but it's only ever doing one at a time. There's never a time when more than one feeder fires at once. Right? Even when it's using 4 heads and doing 4 pickups, it goes bang, 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 bang. It still only ever fires 1 feeder at one time. So my testing is exactly what the machine is doing. About moving on the tape that gets components flipped, one solution for the small feeders is to reduce the pressure. Exactly, that's what I've been trying to do. But it's not even. Every one needs different. So the 0402 parts in the paper tape need less pressure adjustment, but they still need it. The plastic tape needs more. Some needs a lot more than other ones. For instance, reducing my pressure completely. Which one is this one? Oh, right. Let me just show you this. So this is the problem. This is the problem if I reduce the overall machine pressure that I was trying to explain before. So look at my USB. That's not the correct pickup position. The pickup position, this part should be down further, right? So if I scrub ahead, you see how it's a different position now? Right? That time it looks right. And you see that slow movement? Right? That time looks right. And what else have I got in here? Right? You see the Pico D4 is now in the wrong position. because it's not pushing the feeder at the exact number of notches because there's not enough pressure. And did you say that was 5 bar? It's just me, does that seem very high? No, the compressor at my other end has to be capable of 5 bar to be able to keep this, whatever the storage is here, because there's storage on this machine, right? If I turn off my compressor, this thing keeps firing for a little while. It needs 5 bar to be able to replenish the pressure, the air on this side, when the machine's running at full speed, right? That's not 5 bar going into the feeders. Although, I guess, well, technically, yeah, it's at 0.5 MPa, so it could be 5 bar. But if I drop it any more than that, the big feeders don't fire, because they're so heavy. Link to the regulator that can be used. Yeah, does someone have a link to a regulator that isn't this? Okay, because this, as I've just been told, it reduces airflow but not pressure. Does someone have a link to... It needs to be 4mm press fit. It doesn't have to be press fit, but then it's going to take me stacks longer to implement them. The hole should be the exhaust port. Why not restrict the outgoing airflow? When there's back pressure, it will dampen the movement. The hole should be the... What do you mean the exhaust port? Sorry, Mr. Florero. I can't stick tape over the hole because I need to be able to control the amount of pressure per feeder. They all need a different amount. It's abrupt movement. Reduce pressure required for the large feeders. No, but that still won't help because it's still one set of pressure for the whole machine. I need individual pressure for each feeder. Right, that's what I was trying to find. Let me just find... I've got more videos, just hold on 1 second. Hello? Oh, my fans just stopped working. And now they came back up working again.
Like it. Look at...
Oh, right. Look at my LEDs. This isn't the one, but look at the LEDs. So these are 0402 parts, but they're spaced 4mm apart. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The part's on its side. The part's out. Look at that. I mean, so this is with pressure reduction. I can't reduce this enough. So this is still with one of my valves on it. If I reduce this anymore, the shield doesn't pull back anymore. Dampen the solenoid movement with rubber damper. Okay, I can't get in there to do that. I need to see if okay, I just got an email from Pontus. I just got your email, Pontus, if you're still in the chat. Something about the feeders need calibration beforehand. That is not what Charmhigh told me. I'm not sure what can be calibrated on the feeder, but I'm happy to... I'll have a chat with you if you're still here. If you've already left, I'll email you back. Well, you can't hear me right now. I'll email you back. Put a spring and spring down where the other springs are to ease the opening of the shield. I've heard of someone discussing a rubber band. I've not seen any actual implementation of a rubber band. Right, so that's what Gary, that's what I'm asking. Does someone have a link to what something that will reduce the pressure looks like? Because I don't know what that is. This is not my area of expertise. Right, it was suggested for me to get these. This is what Charmhigh were going to send me, was a whole bunch of these, like this, but 3 times the size. I posted a link several times. You're not a moderator, Fred, so you can't post a link. Let me make you a moderator. Okay, try again now. Time for a new Kickstarter. Help me make an open source. And I don't want to design a pick and place machine. They're hard. 6mm one here. Dave's also got, I'm just going to make you guys moderators. Let's go. Here you go. Dave, you can post a link here. Right, I can't fit these. Yeah, I can't do that, guys. There's no room. Yeah. There's no room to do that. There's a very specific reason I got this. There is no room to fit what you're talking about in there. And it's also going to cost me $1,500. And where are these shipping from? Yeah, I can't wait till August. I'm not going to get these from China. You need to get one. No, I don't need to get one. I need to get many. Every feeder needs its own tweaked pressure. Every feeder. Hang on, Zero himself. Is that mini flow rate thing adjustable? This one I've got here? Yeah, absolutely. Oops, that's what that is. Yep. This is what I'm currently using. I understand it's just a tap. I understand that. I don't have room to fit so far what you guys are suggesting. Maybe that one at $40 each. Hey David. Then pressure will equalize on both sides. Hey Julian. I didn't even see you. I'm sorry I missed you. Hello. Oh, hey HMX. Hey to stacks of people that I haven't said hi to. I'm very sorry. Because you need to increase the airflow depending on the pipe size. Right, I can reduce pressure on one side, but it's an even amount. I need to individually be able to adjust the pressure on every feeder. I can't make that clearer, guys. Okay, there is no one solution to fix everything. I need an adjustment per feeder. Okay, my feeder that has my SOT 723 needs a completely different pressure than my feeder that has my Schottky diodes, that needs a completely different pressure than what my DFN has, which needs a completely different pressure to what my SOT 23 has, and so on and so on. Right? No, not by feeder type, by what is in the feeder, by the part that's in the feeder. See, on this AliExpress link has a section on how to fix feeder common issues. Well, look at that one. So the question, the picture you were just showing of the bounce part, at what point in the cycle is that taken? No, it happens when the shutter opens, before the pick and place head's even moved. The head doesn't have to move at all. Right? It happens At the point when the pneumatic fires and the shutter comes back, the part goes whoop, and bounces out or flips upside down or something. Check the holding state, pressing materials. Yeah, you all can see that. Shown below, if the holding gap is a little bigger, please check whether the pressing material cover is out of shape. Okay, well, mine's not. Check the small bird mouth element as shown in the picture below, whether it's stuck or not work smoothly. Need to exchange the feed element of the head. When the gap between the card and the connecting rod is greater than 0.5. I don't know what a card is. I'll have a look at that, David B. Thank you. But it's, again, no, it's definitely not more tinkering than building my own. But what is controlling the power of the shutter? Is that the black? It's the where's the picture? It's this box here. This what it calls cylinder. That's the piston that fires. So the air comes into that, and that pushes out. That is what forces it open. What it calls a cylinder. Add the lubricating oil. Okay. Can look at doing that. Check the tape coiling wheel. Yeah, that cable wheel is fine. Check this single track wheel. I know all these are fine because the feeders work and they feed and work properly. I'll go through this again. I'll have a look. The unexpected P&P. I really don't want to make one. The nut on the piston rod to ensure the piston reaches the end of travel before linkage meet the stop. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Macman, can you adjust the nut on the piston rod? The nut on the piston rod to ensure the piston reaches the end of travel before linkages meet the stop. I cannot touch this at all. If I touch this, then it changes the pitch. It'll mess with the pitch, and then it won't feed the correct amount every time. But that said, nothing here is going to change anything. It's the speed at which it moves. Something needs to hold the part in like a plastic strip under the shutter. Well, that's what the tongue's supposed to do, right? The tongue comes in and supposed to let's see how close we can get. Okay, that's the tongue. See, it slides in that gap. That is holding the tape down. So I was advised by Charmhigh that on plastic tape I've got to pull it out. Whether I pull it out or leave it in there, it's both terrible. Is it the same terrible? It could be different terrible. It's still both terrible. The pick and place is sitting on concrete slabs. Yes. And it's not a machine movement issue. As I said, the pick and place doesn't have to move. The air comes from my compressor into the machine, and it is then regulated by the machine and then distributed to both banks. It's all done on the machine. It's nothing to do with my external regulator. Is there any play when the feeder is locked in place? Play where? Sure. I guess. But that doesn't matter. It's already too late. The second it's open, it's too late. It's the act of opening it. I think that loose main feed spring, the long one, might be the issue. It should have some tension there, so the initial acceleration of the feed is slower. That spring has nothing to do with the spring. That spring here is just unlocking this. It's just unlocking this thing. See this? So it can move. That's it. See that? It's this bit here isn't doing anything. This here is moving it. You're saying that this should be tighter to make this move slower? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this spring has got no ability to do that. Look at this. Right? Doesn't matter. I could make that spring go to here. It still won't be tight enough for this movement. That would mean that every single feeder that I've got and every single feeder that ships, that's the issue is, look, okay, are pneumatic feeders perfect? Maybe not. The issue here is not the feeder. The issue is the pressure delivery from the machine to the feeder. Okay? Hacking the feeder to compensate for a shit design machine is not, I mean, it might be my only option, but it is not the solution. Right, Alex is right. It's not the feeders. Modifying the feeder is just a band-aid. It's what Charmhigh have been trying to do. They've been trying to get me to butcher the feeders to compensate for their machine that doesn't work, so they don't have to admit that their machine design is faulty. It's that simple. Right? So I appreciate everyone's suggestion. Don't get me wrong, I'm listening. I'm happy to try anything at this point, because this machine is, I don't want to swear on my own channel. I ask other people not to swear, and I don't want to swear on my own channel. But you know the word I'm going to use, right? You know the word. That is this machine. No, the feeders are not mounted firmly enough. So have a look at this. And this is why I put the weights on. I'm just going to move my camera. Sorry about the movement. See what I can... have a look at this. I'm going to get a zap. No. Okay. Little bit of movement. No movement, almost. No movement. Oh, a bit of movement. Lots of movement. Look at that. I'm hardly pushing it. I'm hardly touching it. Look at this. Look at this. Like, I could lift that with the... I don't know. I don't even know what I could possibly put here to show you how loose this is. How loose it is. Like, look at this. That's their design. But apparently there's nothing wrong with the machine. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm not. I know nothing about mechanical engineering. I know nothing about pneumatics, air, pressure, anything else. Nothing. Okay? I can tell that that is a flawed crap design. No two ways about it. That is BS. I saw that link, I saw that thread on EEV blog, and I saw someone mention it, but I didn't actually see the implementation. I went through 3 pages, I'll go back and look again. I'll go back and look. I'm prepared to try anything, right? But again, just it's a hack. It's a hack for a stuffed up machine. How would that standard feeder typically lock on another machine? So, as you can see as you saw by the different pressure, like some of them don't move, some of them are really tight. So it could be like, so apparently inside here, there's supposed to be a screw that you can loosen, that you can then use this screw to adjust to tighten this, right? Which is the locking mechanism. And when you tighten this, it stops it moving more, right? I've stuck every screwdriver I can find into this hole, and I cannot feel anything that is screwable in here. I've got so much email coming through from all of you folks. Oh, another super chat. I missed it. I'm really sorry. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry. And I'm missing half the comments and stuff. Yeah, Lawrence, you're right. A room full of electronic engineers figuring out mechanical problem. It's yeah. What are the, yeah, I can see the feeders bouncing. Absolutely I can. When I see one feeder fire, you can absolutely see movement on the other ones. The feeders bounce through. Okay, see, you know what's interesting? I can't explain to you. As I said, none of this is a movement wobble issue. Okay? No, I'm not complaining about the placement accuracy. I'm not complaining about the pickup accuracy, even though I believe there's an issue, but it could just be the feeders, right? But the machine, when it's running, there is some wobble, nowhere near as much as my old Charmhigh, but the wobble is not at the ground level. How do I explain it? I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, there's very little wobble. There's very little wobble. Less than my previous machine. It's on concrete. Why do they bounce? Yes, there is something not latching as it should. No, they bounce by the pressure. It's the rate in which it fires and that shutter opens. That shutter just like smacks into place. Aggressively smacks into place. Right, I just got sent, Wayne just sent me the, thank you Wayne, he just sent me the picture of the elastic bands. Is that what they did? Right. So that is just to slow down the shutter. Okay, thank you. Thanks, James, as well. Okay, I'll try that. I'll happily try that. Yeah, I want to fix, I don't know how to fix the pneumatics. I mean, so, okay, so what I can do, I can buy one of those regulators, okay, like you guys were linking to. I can buy one and put that on the front bank, for the whole bank, and just turn the overall pressure down, not the flow, but the pressure for the front bank, or at least be able to control that. And that'll give me an overall drop, okay? I'll go out today and I'll buy one, no problem, right? I'm still going to need individual control on each feeder, but maybe if I drop the overall pressure I can then use these individually to do a slight adjustment per feeder, and maybe that's my solution. Well, no. When I say solution, I'm being pretty generous. I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I can trust this machine, right? But I'll gladly do that. Like I went out and spent yesterday $156. Whoops, $156 on 5 of these and some hose. Because I just need, like, you know what I mean? I try oiling the shutter, then you might be able to lower the pressure. Yeah, I'll try that. What type of oil should I use? I don't know. Clearly not cooking oil. You mean something like sewing machine oil? Remember my mum used to have little bottles. I'll go to the hardware store, sure. Or what about silicone grease? I've got silicone grease. Actually just bought myself a new one. It came the other day for something totally different. I got some of this. Chip Quick multi-purpose silicone grease, clear. Forget that tap. Yeah, that will not affect the pressure. I know the tap won't affect the pressure, I know that. But if I lower the overall pressure for the front bank, then maybe. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that. Inside the cylinder, there'll be a spring for the return. This is the issue. The spring has too much force. Inside which cylinder? Looks at the picture, the rubber band, it would appear they help stopping any vertical bounce of the shutter. Yeah, it could also stop that as well as slowing down the movement. I'll try it, absolutely. I'll do a follow-up. I'll do anything, I don't care. Like if you tell me I need to sing and dance, do a rain dance in front of it, and act like a fool, I will do it, right? Because I have got, like, I didn't want to, whatever. So the last few weeks, I've been hand assembling tiny picos. Like, that is how desperate I am. That is how desperate. I have been, like, I've not released a video. I've not been chatting to anyone. I've hardly been on Discord. I've been doing nothing except hand assembling tiny picos so I can deliver an order to Crowd Supply. Like, my life has been the F word. I will do anything, I don't care at this point in time. I will try all things. No, So one last thing, and this is going to be interesting. Charmhigh owe me $2,000. So I did a deal with them before I worked out that it was not going to work. Before I worked out that because they were just going to send me 30 of these valves, which clearly isn't going to work. And they were going to send me, so the deal I agreed to was, because the valves, they 100% confirmed that the valves would fix it. Thanks, Fred, I really appreciate it. The deal was that they would send me 2 electric feeders if I bought 6 electric feeders. Right? And I agreed to it for one reason. Because if the valves didn't work, I could at least temporarily put electric feeders in place of my 8 worst feeders here. I've got 19, my 8 worst, and hopefully reduce a bunch of time. I'd still have to go and hand fix every board, but like, I'm desperate, right? And then when I found out that this doesn't work, I straight away, so I paid them up front straight away. They promised me they would ship it same day, which they didn't. Okay? This is on Monday. Tuesday morning, I went out straight away and bought these, found out that it wasn't working, showed the results. Like, if I turn it all the way down so there's no more pressure, nothing moves. Right? Clearly, I understand it's flow, not pressure. I got back to them straight away and said, stop, do not send me the feeders, the electric feeders. I don't want them. This is not a solution. Can you please refund my money? I do not want the feeders. They ignored me. By yesterday afternoon, I'd asked 7 times for them to return my money. Last night, 11 o'clock, I was up to number 11, and they still wouldn't return my money. They still hadn't shipped them. At 12:15 last night, I was told they're going to return my money, but they haven't. So it's 2,000 Australian dollars that they owe me, or 1,300 US dollars that they owe me for a product that I don't want, that they haven't shipped, that they are not wanting to refund me on. So, to me, I don't know what else to call that other than theft. And I'm saying that straight up. So, yeah, it's been an absolute complete disaster. This is a pneumatic machine, yes. The electric feeders are a hack. The electric feeders are a hack that they want me to spend $10,000 extra on. $10,000 for hacked electric feeders that they said will make me more money because they're so much better. How about the machine that I bought does the job you sold it to me to do? There's no consumer protection. China's the Wild West. They don't care. They don't care at all. They keep saying, we want to help you, we want to help you. But they can't. There's nothing they can help me with. They won't agree the machine's faulty. They won't agree the machine's got a design flaw. They won't agree that they sold me a machine under false pretenses. They're prepared to blame everyone, including the manufacturers of the components who choose their plastic wrong on their reels, but they won't put their hand up and say, yep, we did something wrong. Their response was, what's in it for them? What do they gain by fixing this for me? And I sit back, what do I gain for buying a $17,000 pick and place machine that doesn't do what your website says it can do? What do I gain? I can't look. It's not that my money's tied up. You know, I've got a mortgage. I can draw against the mortgage. It's not a matter of finding the money to buy the S1 now. It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of the amount of money I'm spending that I'm not going to ever recoup. I mean, there's no money in building small microcontroller boards. Just lucky I don't drink scotch, Graham. Okay, Jet Direct, thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 19 emails. A couple of them I've clicked on, a couple of them, most of them I haven't yet. I will. I'll get to them all. I'll reply to everyone. Thank you. I really appreciate everyone emailing me. Yeah, the save face culture. Sure. Well, it's going to backfire on this time. Can you sell it as spares? I'm really hoping that Zero himself, honestly, his machine he doesn't have issues with. I can't possibly see how he won't. It really depends on the parts he's using. If he's got any 8mm feeders in plastic tape, he's screwed. Maybe some of these hacks will work. Sure. Read mine before you leave the house. read yours before I go to the alcohol cupboard. Please read Patron also. Yeah, I know. I've seen there as well. Alex, thank you. You pick a few people and hop on a call. No, it's not that there are too many cooks that want to help. I mean, everyone, that's fine. Are there no Australian? No, there's no one in Australia that makes pick and place machines. It's Australia's a very expensive country for wages and stuff. About 40% are, and I have a bunch. Yeah, well, you're gonna be in trouble, mate. Sorry. I wish it was my machine only. That would explain why all these other happy customers don't have a problem, apparently, right? But if it was my machine only, great, but they still won't, no. Wonder if Naomi could work. I don't think I'm not sure that anyone would speak to Charmhigh and they'd do the right thing. Like, they're prepared to take a shellacking from me on YouTube. They're prepared for that to happen before they will do the right thing. You know? I mean, the right thing would be, and this sounds ridiculous, the right thing would be, send me 36 electric feeders for free. If the electric feeders are the only things that will do on this machine what your website and what you said this machine can do, then send me 36 feeders for free. Make this machine do what you said it can do when you sold it to me. If you're not prepared to do that, refund me the money. I'll store it for you. You can ship it to someone else. Right? Both are reasonable. And both they're not prepared to do. They're prepared to take a shellacking from me. They think the, what was it, the cost of doing business, whatever, is worth it. I don't know. Folks, do not buy a Charmhigh. No, look, you can do what you want. You can do what you want. I'm not saying this experience is going to be the same for everyone. Don't buy this machine. Whatever you do, Jonathan Payne's not listening, and this is not the right debugging. What? Where's Jonathan Payne? Dude, I'm an engineer and I have worked with integral pneumatic speed control of cylinders. I'm trying to tell you how to control them. I don't know what cylinders you're talking about, Jonathan. What cylinder? I can't see a cylinder on here at all, unless you're talking about what's inside this box. What cylinder? Cylinder equals piston. I appreciate you trying to help me. Maybe don't do it on chat. Hit me up via an email or something. sion@unexpectedmaker.com. I'm happy to chat with you. I'm sorry, I'm not deliberately trying to ignore you. It's the wrong. Alex is right. This is the wrong forum with all the chat going past to explain to me how to fix it. I can't. Okay, here's the thing. If fixing it requires me pulling this apart to get to the inside of this, it's not happening. It's not happening. The amount I need to pull apart, I've already looked at it. The amount I need to pull apart to get this out, to get into here, I'm likely to never get the feeders back into a good working order again. Like if that is my option, it's not an option. Catch you later, James. Thanks, mate. When leaving log, that pickup position should be under the metal shield of the feeder. That's right. That's what it does, and it pulls the shield back to expose the part. That's supposed to protect the part from bouncing around. Unfortunately, pulling the shield back is making the part bounce out. Yeah, I've got no legal routes. I know I've got no legal route. I'm not complaining about that. Charmhigh won't fix it properly. Cable tie. My option is only one. I'm on my own. I need to, and I will do whatever if it takes, other than pulling the feeders apart. Because pulling the feeders apart is like, I'm honestly, as I said, I'm not a mechanical engineer, and I think I worked out there was at least 11 screws I need to undo of parts coming apart to get that piston out. And I don't want to do that. If there are other things I can try first, I want to try those things first, right? So what's my solution? Well, yeah, the switches hang. I mean, she sent me a picture. Like, it looks ridiculous. If I can find it. So here's the problem. Oops. That's the electric feeder. So the first issue is they stick out massively more. Okay, and the issue for that is I am now limited to this much walking space between my desk and the pick and place machine. If I lose more, that's all the space I've got to walk around my feeders on my pick and place. That aside, look at the cable. Look how it needs an external power supply. Okay, and then all these cables are hanging down between each one. That's the solution. Yeah, it's so $10,000 of feeders that may or may not work, that they will absolutely. My email is seon, SEON, @unexpectedmaker.com. Bring on the spam. I'm happy to chat with you, Jonathan. I really am. I apologise if you got frustrated because I wasn't listening. It was reading. Sorry, it's really not a great forum for me to be able to see all the individual messages. James, what's been going on? Really? See you, Colin. Catch you later. Lee, I've been ranting on for this for too long. I need to get back to hand assembling boards. I really have to. Aaron, it doesn't matter if they can do it or not. So yesterday, I get a message saying our engineers just tried it and it works fine. I went, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Your engineers tried what works fine? Our engineers just tried using the pneumatic feeders on a reel of plastic tape and it works fine. I went, so your engineer came to my house when I wasn't looking and tried a plastic tape reel on my machine and it works, does it? No, your engineer tried one in our factory. So the engineer came here and took my reel of my parts that doesn't work, took it to their factory and tried it on their machine and it works. No, our engineer used different parts. What part did the engineer use? I don't know. Okay. So you took a random something that was on a tape, that was on plastic tape, put it on a machine, one off, and it worked. Okay, and so that means that my machine's not faulty, right? Capital, I appreciate that, mate. I do. I really do. I'll get it done. It's my burden to bear. Thank you. Look, if I I find a way that you can help me, I'll reach out to you. I will. I absolutely will. It's just, yeah. Like, that's the type of ridiculousness that I'm dealing with Charmhigh. So frustrating. So disappointing. You know, it's so not what you... Like, I said to Yaz before I bought the machine, I said, my issue with buying a Charmhigh or any other Chinese pick-and-place machine is I know I'll be on my own. I get the machine. If there are issues, I'm on my own. I'll have to fix them myself, just like I did on my 36 VA. Okay? The issues I was expecting to fix were reliability issues, right? Tweaking and calibrating. That's what I was expecting to have to fix and tweak, not the fact that it physically does not work. That was not what I was expecting to have to work with. Proof. There is no proof. Until someone can grab my machine and show me on my machine how I'm doing it wrong and show my machine working, I don't care what other machine can do 0402 or not, or any other part. Because all that confirms is my machine is faulty. But they won't agree to that. So, Michael, like, does that make sense? I can't wait for the PSA. Also, I was planning on ordering a Charmhigh. No, do not do it. Good. Kuka, seriously, you will be absolutely disappointed with it. Don't do it. I'm sorry, I feel it goes against every essence of my being to say that to you. But unless my machine is faulty, you will be absolutely disappointed with the machine. It has such potential. Its precision on placement is way better than my 36 VA was. But it cannot pick up the parts. This is not a placement issue. This is a feeding issue. It cannot feed from pneumatic feeders. And I've got it in writing from them, so don't do it. You know? It's... Yeah. What else? This has just reinforced my concerns with buying Chinese anything. Yeah, but like you buy with your eyes open, right? Like, again, my expectation was I'd have a machine that I'd have to tweak and calibrate the heck out of, and it would take me weeks and weeks to really tune it, of non-stop panels, until I got it to the point where it was running reliably, or as reliably as I could get it, right? That was my expectation. And I can't even get past the starting gate. I can't even get it to pick up the frickin' parts. There's nothing to do with tuning. The parts aren't there to pick up because they're bounced out. Okay, if that's not a design flaw, then I don't know what is. If that's a standard generic issue with pneumatic feeders, don't sell me the frickin' machine and tell me it can do what you say it can do when it can't. I got no opportunity to tweak. How could I resell it? How could I sell this to anyone? Hey guys, I'll sell this to you, but only under the requirement that you don't use any plastic tape reels and that you don't use any parts that are smaller than 0805. There you go. If that fits you, this machine is perfect. No plastic reels, nothing smaller than 0805. Done. Hey, Akarish. Sorry, I pronounced that really badly. Can you provide detailed pictures of feeders and valves, etc., so we can work out a solution? Feeders and valves. Reels are plastic. Hey, Mike. We can chat offline, Alex. I'm going to try the elastic band thing. I'm going to go out and buy a regulator for the front bank. And I'm going to give that a go. Yeah. And again, but here's the thing: even if it takes it from 70% good to 90% good, that 10% means I'm still checking every single part on every single panel every time I build, and I still have to build in 2 halves, just like I used to do. Just why I bought a machine to not have to do that. I'll get you the link now, James. Hang on 1 second. For those that want to discuss this more, once the stream's finished, which I'm going to end it very soon because I need to get going. I've got many thousands of boards to build, mostly by hand, but I'm not having good luck at all, mate. Not at all. This is the Discord link. Happy to continue it on there. So this is why I've been quiet about it. Like, this has been going on for 5 days, and I've not said... I've had people asking me, how's it picking place? How's it picking place? And I've not said anything. Deliberately. I was giving Charmhigh time to do the right thing so I could tell everyone a wonderful story about how my machine arrived and there were some issues and Charmhigh fixed it for me and everything was great. Right? That's what I did. But it didn't happen, and it's not going to happen, and that's why I'm telling you all now. Someone who is over emotional, almost crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying, mate. No, I'm not trying to make things... The days of making things happen, 3D Print Creator, are gone. I gave them 5 days. I've been in discussion with them all day, every day and evening for 5 days. I've asked them repeatedly, to make good on what they sold me. Catch a Paul. I've worked with them. I've done every single hack they've asked me to do, including cutting spring. I'm not doing this to get your attention. You get... Oh, hang on. What? Like, I've given them every opportunity. I've cut springs on feeders. I've bent metal on feeders. I've gone out and bought valves and cabling. I've recabled their front. I've done all the things they've asked me to do. None of them have worked. I shouldn't have had to do any of them. And I've given them 5 days, repeatedly asked them to admit that there's a problem and to do the right thing. I'm beyond trying to get them to fix it now. This is not me shaming them to get them to do the right thing. That's gone. That's gone. They were told that yesterday. This was decided at the last minute. It was not as a threat. When I let them know what I was doing, they said, "Are you threatening us?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm done negotiating. You won't do the right thing. You've repeatedly told me you won't do the right thing. You've blamed me and told me that that the issue with this whole machine is my expectation. My unreasonable expectation. You've blamed me and you won't do the right thing, and now I'm going to be open and honest with my community about what has happened." That's it. This is the right thing to do, and I cannot be prosecuted for this. I'm telling the truth. I have it all documented. It is the way it works. It's 100% the way it works. Even in China. Neoden's a Chinese company. The machine was delivered to me faulty. I got my money back. It was returned. That's bullshit. You know why China gets away with it? Because people allow China to get away with it. Sorry, mate. That's BS. That is absolute BS. You're assuming that this is something I'm trying to get out of telling everyone this. No. I know I'm stuck with this $17,000 piece of garbage. I know that. I know my only choice is to make it work on my own with the help of my community. I know that. This is not a ploy. I'm not heavy-handing Charmhigh. I'm not twisting Charmhigh's arm or threatening them. You've got it all wrong, mate. Our conversation is done. My conversation with Charmhigh is done. I did the right thing. I kept my cool the whole time. I didn't swear or scream. I repeatedly asked them to do the right thing. I must have written it 100 times. You sold me a machine that is not capable of doing what both you and your website claim the machine can do. Oh, I didn't tell you the best bit. Okay? When I said that to you the first time, you know what I got back? Where on our website does it claim? So I copied and pasted 3 places from the website that state all the parts it can do. No mention of electric feeders, no mention of plastic. I've mentioned all that, right? You know what the reply I got back? We claim that we can place 0402 components. We mention nothing about picking them up. As if one can happen without the other one. So by the way, I went back to the website, did a search. The word place is not used once on the website. Not once. But that is the bullshit. There you go, I just swore. That is the BS that I'm getting from Charmhigh. We only claim we can place them. I've got that in writing. No, there's not one thing I've said. Have I delivered in an emotional way? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, a $17,000 printer? Maybe not. I've got all this in writing. There's not one thing I've said that I do not have backed up proof of in writing. Yeah, I don't like swearing on here. I try to be as family friendly as possible. I don't like other people swearing, and I really do my best not to swear. I really do. I almost tripped up a few times today, but and I know BS isn't the worst swear word in the world, but I still I ask others not to do it, so I try not to do it as well. So this is the thing. Absolutely, a $5,000 printer is a lot of money. Absolutely. And no one, I'm not saying that you should accept it because it's only $5,000. That wasn't my point. $100, it doesn't matter. It's your hard-earned money. It's my hard-earned money. This is my livelihood, which I'm not even making a livelihood. I invested this money in a machine to give me some mental freedom to be able to do the work I need to do to try to build something for my family, to try to feed my kids, which is no different to what everyone else does that works, right? Or is lucky enough to not work because they've already done their hard yards, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, I'm not singling myself out as being anyone different to anyone else, right? They've taken my money, they've delivered me a machine that is incapable of doing what they said it could do, and have agreed, I have it in writing, that it is incapable of doing it. But they will not actually say they're culpable at all. I thought they had 3-year warranty. Oh, warranty in China means nothing. No, I understand you're not against me, mate. I understand that, right? I'm not sorry, and I get you're not challenging me, but that's the bit you're missing. I'm not. I don't. They've already not helped me. They're refusing to help me already. This is not how I'm trying to get help from them. That's the bit you're missing. That's gone. That ship has sailed. Any help I'm going to get now on this machine is going to come from me and my community. That's it. No help from them. They are not prepared to do the right thing. I'm not doing this to make them do the right thing. I'm letting everyone know not to buy a machine from Charmhigh. Or if you're going to buy a machine from Charmhigh, you better damn well know what you're going to buy and have spoken to other people that can confirm the machine can or can't do what they claim it can do. Because their websites are lies. Yeah, there's no top guy in the company there. I'm speaking as the salesperson. There's no one above that I can speak to. There are managers, don't know if they speak English or not. And they need to pay me my $2,000 back. Absolutely. Because that's total BS. So what they were doing is they were stalling until DHL picked up, which they haven't yet. I still haven't got a shipping. Because once DHL picked up, they didn't have to return the money because it's too late. They were stalling. They ignored all of my requests to return the money until midnight last night. Nicholas, hopefully, I'm convinced that if there any improvements are going to happen, it's going to come from the community, right? Where in China are they from? Do they speak Mandarin, Cantonese? Need someone who can talk to them in their language. Oh, I know what their rules are. Their rules are no refund, no return, no acknowledgement that we have ever done anything wrong. That's their rules. I know that. That's fine. Oh, I'm not shocked by that. But the person I'm dealing with speaks perfect English. No problem. It's not a language barrier thing. It's they don't have to do anything. They're okay. They know they can get away with this. Right? That's it. Simple as that. They know they'll still sell machines. The amount of people that are going to hear about this on my stream, and I am going to make a video about it at some point when I have the energy again, right? The amount of people that are going to know about it is negligible compared to their marketplace. They'll still sell a stack of them. And you know what? Here's the problem, 3D print creator. Here's the problem. There's this attitude, not you, just in general, there's this attitude that you buy from China, you get shit, and you deal with it, and you take a risk, and whatever. Suck it up, yeah? Which enables these people to do what they do. Now, how many other people have bought the machine and had problems and had to find fixes or not fix it, blah, 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 and just took it on the chin because their expectation is that when you buy from China, you buy shit and you've got to fix it? That's the problem. It's not that there aren't other machines out there that are failing. It's not that that I'm the only customer with a machine that has a problem. No, it's just that most people just put their hands up and go, well, that's what you get when you buy from China. And that's the problem. Hey, Gregory. I can absolutely rule that out for this issue because the heads aren't moving. The machine is not moving. This issue of the feeding has nothing to do with the movement of the head because they're not moving. The head is sitting over the feeder, nothing's happening. I open the feeder, the part jumps out. I close the feeder. I open the feeder, the part jumps upside down. I close the feeder. The machine's not moving. It doesn't come into the equation. Does it come into the equation of potentially other issues with the machine? Possibly. But if I can't pick up a part, it's irrelevant whether I can place it or not. Jonathan, thank you very much. I will, yep, I can see your email here. I'll have a read and I'll have a chat with you. The idea in mind that they should price the products appropriately or tell the truth about the specs. Just be honest. Be honest with me at the start and say, hey, I'm just letting you know that you can also buy electric feeders and they're potentially going to be more reliable. You might have some issues with the pneumatic feeders and you might not, right? And if you do, there are some tweaks that we can do to improve it and see. And let me decide. Maybe I would have spent the extra money and got electric feeders at the start. Had I been offered them and told that they even existed, which I wasn't, and given an option. Then it's my decision to make. It's my decision if I want to risk the machine potentially not doing the right thing, or spend more money to hopefully ensure it does the right thing. They didn't give me that option. There was no discussion of electric feeders. None whatsoever. They just wanted a sale. They wanted a sale. I'd bought a machine from them before. They thought this is an easy win, an easy machine. Sold me the machine. I knew exactly, I discussed with them exactly what I needed from the machine, the parts I'm using, the precision I needed. Yep, no problems. Yep, if you buy this feeder, 100% perfect. You buy this feeder, as long as you're using the right feeder for the pitch, 100% no problem, works perfectly. Got that in writing from them. Anyway, well, I don't know why they didn't offer it to me. I probably would have bought some. I probably would have bought electric feeders for all of my 2mm stuff and still gone with the 8mm pitch feeders, so I still would have had problems, but it would have been my choice. My decision to make, my risk to take. Instead, they took my money knowing I was going to have problems with all of my 8mm feeders and didn't say anything. No, they don't make the feeders, they buy them. I think there's 3 or 4 different companies in China that actually make the feeders. They just buy the feeders from whatever. Oh, and here's another thing. Like, here's the 2mm pitch feeder. Yeah. The model number is, can you read it? KW1 M1300 020. Hey, thanks Daniel. Hey, why aren't you a subscriber? Please subscribe. But thank you very much, I really appreciate it, right? That's the model. Whoops. Now, when you go online and look at these feeders, there are 2 models above this that have higher precision. 2. Were they offered to me? I'm not saying that they would fix anything. But why was I not offered the higher precision version of the pneumatic feeders? We discussed precision. I told them I needed reliable. Offer me the bigger feeders. Offer me, like, how much more are they, right? 50% more, 100% more price? Sure, okay. Maybe I would have bought half to try them. Nothing. Before I bought the machine, I didn't contact and just buy it. 4 days of back and forward before I paid for the machine, making sure I had everything I needed to do exactly what I needed. 4 days of back and forward. Tuning the number of feeders I was buying, discussing what I needed, what I was placing. Not once was I offered better feeders or electric feeders, and not once was I told that there were issues with pneumatic feeders. Okay? Buyer beware if you're buying from Charmhigh. They'll do anything to get your sale. They will not help you afterwards when they've sold you a machine that cannot do what they claim it can do. That's it. Oh wow, I can't believe I spoke about this for 3. Has it been? Holy shit! It's been 3 hours. 3 hours, folks. I gotta get to work. I've got, I don't even know how many I've got to go. I think I worked out I've got 2,200 still to build. And I've not even started Feather S2s or Pro S2. I got people waiting. I got people like, I've missed the boat. I'm missing the boat. I'm missing the boat on the S2 because I can't build any. I've got, like, this is just bad on so many levels. Bad, bad, bad. Everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone's help and thoughts. I'm going to go through and read all the emails. Again, hey, for those that, I'm just going to write it. Stupid idea. But, if you ever have other thoughts, ideas, things I can try, that's my email address. I hope that doesn't get scraped. I'll be in big trouble. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, mate. I'm gonna, yeah, get the S1 on order. I don't know. Yeah. I'll get a break when I can, mate. Right now I can't. I might go get something to eat and have another coffee. I'm going to go straight up to the place I bought these from right away and go buy a regulating valve, whatever they're called, for the front. I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to see how small they can do the other regulators. No, what are you saying? No, don't do that. Alex is screaming, no. Okay, I'll check my email first. I'll read my emails. I'll have another coffee first, okay? Then I'll go. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for the super chats. It was really generous and amazing of you all. Wait, I'm being told to wait. I just found a suggestion. Hope it didn't come from Charmhigh. Yeah, Zero himself. You and I are going to be chatting, I think. A magnet under the tape to hold the parts. On the aluminium plate where the feeders sit, the hole that delivers the air has an O-ring inside it to seal it and hold the feeder. There's no O-rings in here. There is absolutely no O-rings in those holes. None. X-micron. If they're supposed to be, they didn't ship with any. Clearly another cheap thing by them. Someone said a magnet. What type of magnets? Like I've got some of these neodymium. They're probably going to be too big. God, these are so strong. Yeah, Mr. Parts is spray on adhesive, much better. Well, there's no O-ring in there. I've got these little guys. Well, they're not so little. They won't fit. They're too big. They won't fit in there. So the problem with the SOT 23 is there's not enough height to get a magnet on there. So, well, I got a little one. I think that it's going to be too high. I think. No magnets on the tape. I tried that. It screws everything up. Keep all magnets far away. Yeah, the thought, like I know I've mentioned it before, like I would have thought putting magnets near the components would be a problem. Apparently it's not a problem for the components, but yeah, we'll have O-rings. Possibly, like there's definitely no O-rings in here at all. Whoa. Yeah. It looks like there's a bit of a divot on the, like a channel around the top that maybe an O-ring could sit in there, but no. Yeah, but the issue, yeah, I've got too much pressure, but it's also jumping, right? Maybe an O-ring would also tighten it a bit, I don't know. This is a cheap ass machine, you get what you pay for. Well, I don't know. I would have thought $17,000 would have been enough to put some O-rings on there. Yeah. Okay. I'm out, folks. Again, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone that did a super chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for your suggestions. Thanks, Micron. Thanks, Arturo. Hello, Mr. Macari. On the underside of the metal the tape rides on. Oh, the underneath the metal. I don't know how I can get in there. I'd have to pull it apart to get something in there. No, it's a metal chamber. It's all one piece. There's no... Oh, the little thing that... Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I'd have to pull it apart. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that. Oh, John, thank you. That wasn't necessary, mate. Midnight in the UK. Thanks, Pig Scotland. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your support and your help and your generosity. That was the stream last week. I owed you. You don't owe me anything, mate, but thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, Ben. Good to see you, mate. Okay. Coffee time. Thank you all again. Bye.